Hey guys, Pokemon Masterclass. We're back with another news vid. We got big news for OU, rightfully so. Right after we post our, OU podcast, we've got some big OU news. Justin, what's the news, man? What do you see?
I don't see anything.
Oh, well, I'm not screen sharing. You want me to screen share?
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter. I wasn't sure. Sorry.
You're good.
ZAMAZENTA is the big news today. Big doggo. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of ZAMAZENTA. I'm obviously the sword player. Brandon's the shield player, so he has the ZAMAZENTA. But in Series 8, he wasn't really... We'll say he wasn't really in love with what he was trying to do. He wasn't getting out of the dog what he wanted. So he traded it to me and was like, here, man, you're the one building a lot of these teams, practicing a lot while I'm going to be in the hospital. To take my ZAMAZENTA and see what you come up with. And I obviously made the ZAMAZENTA team that was featured last week, I believe, with the Cinderace and the Boomer. It was the April Fool's video.
Yeah.
That was not an April Fool's joke, actually.
Yeah.
It just happened to be our upload schedule.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, long story short, the support tanky doggo was kind of where we landed. But it looks like with this being an OU, you're going to be able to try out the dog that you wanted, which is obviously the offensive variant. Maybe Max Jolly and attack or some sort of bruiser type rather than just a straight up wall of support.
Yeah. My overall thoughts on this doggo, in doubles he's booty. In Ubers he is booty. They're gonna test him out in OU. It's a really weird place for him. I think he's not good in Ubers, but I feel like I want to say he's too good for OU, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. I got Showdown up here, and we're gonna just kind of take a little look at him. Justin, I am screen sharing with you now.
Yep. It's one of those weird things, isn't it, where it's like it definitely feels appropriate that he's getting at least suspect tested, because he does definitely teeter between OU and Uber. It's like that weird purgatory area.
Yeah. So really good speed tier here, looking at 128. Really good attack stat at 130. Actually not amazing for OU. Obviously he's got the defenses. The thing about this dog is you can only run Dauntless Shield, so you can't choice this. You can't put a Life Orb. You can't put leftovers.
It has to be the crown version, so you have to have the shield on it.
And when I look at this Pokemon and I look at its support moveset, it gets almost nothing to really support your team outside of screens. And if you're going to run screens, there are a lot better screen Pokemon. So and as far as single setup moves, you have Howl and you have Agility. This is not a set that I would run, but so you're definitely going to be running Jolly, or you're going to be running Adamant, one of the two, and it gets a lot of good coverage moves. Behemoth Bash, obviously, but you only have 8 PP, so I don't think that's very good with Corviknight around, because if they make that play on you a couple times,
and unfortunately because you're the crown version, you don't have the option to run anything but Behemoth Bash as a steel move.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. Play Rough is nice for all the dragons. You're faster than I think all the dragons, non-scarfed, right? At 128.
Other than Dragapult.
Other than Dragapult. Close combat and Crunch. Crunch can handle Dragapult. So
Wild Charge is nice.
Wild Charge is nice for Corvi.
Does he get Flare Blitz?
No.
Okay. But he does get close combat.
Yeah, but he does get close combat. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're looking at. This is definitely going to be, I feel like, kind of a one-trick kind of Pokemon coming in here.
One-trick doggo?
Yeah, which is... If you don't run Wild Charge, you lose to Corviknight and Toxapex. But, if you... It's very interesting, but I'm actually going to pull up the web. We'll do a couple live calcs here. Well, before we do that, let's just look at the tier and let's look at...
Well, do you have any like rough sketch, just throw it out there, day one set ideas? Doesn't matter if it's perfect.
I think the first thing you're going to see is Howl 3 attacks.
Howl 3 attacks? So here's the one that I'm the first one that came to my mind was like, okay, I don't hate the idea of dual stab plus dual screens on just a big bulky dog.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Better options, sure, but it could fit into your team being steel fighting, having a close combat, behemoth bash, and then dual screens. Obviously, you won't be able to have the light clay, but Dauntless Shield and Reflect, or Dauntless Shield plus a light screen, be able to bulky on both sides. Like that's saying a lot, and it is support for the team.
Yeah.
So a steel type being able to set up screens is it's not the worst thing in the world. I definitely like it. I don't hate it.
So here's
for me. This is the last thing. For me, it feels lackluster to use such a bad A-looking dog. Like, he's such a cool-looking wolf legendary poke. Like, we finally got wolves, and it's like, I feel bad just making him just be like some mundane screener.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
At the same time, from a competitive standpoint, I don't, looking at his stats and his, take the emotions out of it and just looking at it as a game piece, his stats and his typing, I don't hate the idea of that set. It could work.
Yeah.
And it could actually be pretty prevalent depending on your squad.
On the flip side of Zamazenta being a bad Pokemon, looking at it being a good Pokemon, obviously you hit Bisharp, Blissey, Clefable, with Crunch and Dragapult. You can play rough. I'm just looking at the tier right now, and he's super effective hits like so much of this tier. So that could be an argument for it staying in Ubers, is because, man, like Magnezone, you're gonna close combat that. Not a lot resists.
Body press was not going to do much through that Dauntless, or through the Rusty Shield, Dauntless Shield boost, is it?
Crunch hits all of the slow mons. You got Play Rough for Lele. It's just
one thing that comes to mind is where we just did in our OU video. We just talked about a bunch of threats. So we obviously were talking about like Rotom Heat. I wonder how much that does, one, non-boosted overheat does to a dog without screens and then with screens.
Right.
These are the type of questions I have in my mind. Like, how much does, after one Swords Dance, how much does a Garchomp's Earthquake do to this dog behind just a Dauntless Shield? And how much does it do behind Dauntless Shield and Reflect?
Well, I got Zamazenta up here on the Pokemon damage calculator. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys really quick.
Because these are the relevant, in our opinion, these are some of the relevant threats. Again, Volcarona, after one Quiver Dance, how much does your Mystical, you could be running Mystical Fire, but how much does your Fiery Dance do?
Yeah, so like a couple of the things that I think Corviknight is the first thing we look at.
Big threat without Wild Charge.
So if you got Wild Charge on Zamazenta, even an Adamant Wild Charge only does 37 to 44 to physically defensive Corviknight.
And how much recoil?
Yeah, 10% to 13% recoil. So, I mean, so there's that. That's
not nothing.
Yeah, but it's
10% damage every turn to a big tank like that. That's not nothing.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going against a Corviknight that's only taking 40 and roosting.
Physically defensive Toxic Packs only take 38 to 45% from Wild Charge. Not even a 3-hit KO, or not even a 2-hit KO. So that's not good.
That is not good, especially when she can soak, can't she?
Yeah, but I think she would you could literally just Scald Recover. Stall this thing.
Forgot about that.
And then Pressure Corviknight can just roost off whatever.
Pressure Corviknight burns through your Wild Charges super quick. You're going to kill yourself before you kill it. Between the pressure roost stalling.
Mandibuzz, if you got a Mandibuzz, even mixed defenses, not even physically defensive, not fully physically defensive Mandibuzz.
I don't mean to cut in front of you right here. I'm guessing what you're getting at is right out the gate, you're not going to try to make this dog a wall breaker. Is that what I'm seeing here?
No, what I'm trying to say is, like, it's not a good wall breaker and it's not a good support mon, but at the same time, like, the coverage is nice, like if you've got Stealth Rock, but
he's bulky.
I really just don't know where he's gonna land.
Got good coverage against killing certain things. Like, he obviously one-shots every Blissey in the world.
Well, let's find that out for sure. You know what I mean? OU defensive Blissey is close combat's a 1-hit KO, so you're right about that one for sure.
What about Clefable?
Clefable, I'm going to assume that's a 1-hit KO. Yeah, so no, Behemoth Bash is almost.
And that's Adamant?
Yeah, that's Adamant. These are Adamant calcs.
That is a testament. So with rocks, you'll get them, but dang, Clef is fat. PH fat.
It's 2-hit KO on Ferrothorn, which is actually pretty good, but
that's pretty good though. That's
yeah. And then the last thing I kind of wanted to calc was crunch against slow bro.
Oh yeah, the slows.
Wild charge, yeah. And then if we throw crunch in there, then you're looking at it's just a 3-hit KO. So
wow.
Yeah,
and
really.
Now they have Regenerator. They can yawn. They can slack off. So that's actually not great.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not a wall breaker.
No.
How does he do in terms of being a revenge killer? Let's try to see some of those. So like maybe a Garchomp came in with a Swords Dance like I was talking about, and maybe he just scale shot. He's got a scale shot set up. He's got a Swords Dance set up. He's ready to go, right? So the +2 Garchomp with an EQ. Can we live that? And can we kill it in return?
No, cannot. Close combat's only 62 to 73, and Earthquake is without a boost. Earthquake has a chance to win at KO. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this dog is definitely not overpowered so far in OU.
Yeah. And this with a little bit of HP investment. So, yeah, final closing thoughts on, like, Zamazenta as a whole. I really don't know. I don't know if it's...
Preliminary. This is just a very early on preliminary look into it. Obviously, we plan on doing some testing of our own. For sure, we're definitely going to try out this dog on a couple of teams. We're probably going to film some of those in the next week or two.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be looking for our own... this is our preliminary, and then later on we'll give you the in-depth stuff and actually in battle, and we're definitely going to hear more about this subject from us, for sure.
Yep. Yeah, so closing thoughts for me, I really don't know if it's going to stay OU or what. I really can't say. So, I mean, I know that's not much of a closing thought, but that's just how I feel about it. I'm underwhelmed at certain aspects and then impressed by other aspects, and it's just kind of like a mixed bowl for me.
It's a weird thought to have. You know what I mean? This is the generational.
The box art legendary.
The box art legendary. We've never had this in 30 years of or 25 years of Pokemon. We've never even talked about a box art legendary being represented in the standard OU format.
Yeah.
Or ever since OU has been what it is.
Yeah. No. I definitely agree.
It's definitely worth talking about, and it's definitely worthwhile. Maybe it. What do you think? I guess my my closing question for you, Brandon. What do you think is the? I guess we'll say the problem or the anchor. What's the hurdle that he's? Is it his move pool? Is it his typing? Is it his stats?
I think it's the lack of item other than Rusted Shield. If you could choice ban this or Life Orb this, it'd be so much better.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think
that's actually a really valid point. Like if we could use regular Zamazenta versus Crown.
I think regular Zamazenta is actually better than this because you can put different items. So, yeah. So that's our thoughts on Legendary Shieldo Doggo.
Obviously, this is going to be an ongoing conversation in the community. We want this to start a conversation with you. So if you're a viewer right now, please let us know in the comments. If you've made a video response, leave that in the comments. That's totally okay with us to leave your own YouTube link in the comments if it pertains to this exact question that we're talking about. We don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to have this ongoing conversation. We want to know what you think. Do you think Zamazenta is too strong? Do you think it's not strong enough? Do you think it's going to do well? What kind of Zamazenta are you looking at running? What team are you running around? All those questions. Let us know down below.
Yep. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And I think that's going to wrap it up, right, Justin?
Absolutely.
All right. Until next time, I've been Zero.
And I'm Grass Leader Justin.
Class is dismissed.